This 911 call changed everything. 9:17 p.m. The 911 operator answers the call. Heavy breathing, a pause, then a woman's voice. "My husband, he's not breathing. I think someone broke in. Please hurry." Her voice trembles, but only slightly, controlled, measured. And then she says something that investigators would replay dozens of times. "Why would you do this?" At first it sounded like shock. Later it sounded like something else. Michael and Sarah Henderson had been married for 12 years, 2 children, a quiet suburban home. No police reports, no public arguments. To the neighbors, they were ordinary, quiet, polite, normal. Until that night. Officers arrived within 6 minutes. The front door was locked, windows intact, no signs of forced entry. Michael was found in the living room. There were no signs of a struggle, no broken furniture, nothing missing from the house. It didn't look like a robbery. It didn't look chaotic. It looked still. The medical examiner later determined the cause of death: asphyxia due to external airway obstruction. There were no drugs in his system, no heart attack, no accidental explanation. Microscopic fibers were found, consistent with a decorative pillow from the bedroom. This was not random. This was personal. But what changed the case wasn't just forensics. It was the 911 call. Behavioral analysts listened carefully. In genuine panic, people tend to call their loved one by name, cry uncontrollably, speak in fragmented sentences. But Sarah never once said Michael. She said, "My husband," detached, formal. Her breathing sounded strained, but rhythmic, almost rehearsed. When the operator told her to stay on the line, she hesitated. I have to go." And the call ended. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Then investigators looked at the timeline. Smart home data revealed something strange. The garage door opened 3 minutes before the 911 call, then closed. Motion detected inside the house. Only after that did she call for help. If there had been an intruder, the sequence would look different. This looked staged. Then came the digital evidence. 10 days before the incident, search history showed. How long does suffocation take? Can a pillow leave marks? Does life insurance pay if death happens at home? The searches were made during her work breaks. Not the children's device usage, not random, intentional. Financial records added another layer, over $200,000 in debt, late mortgage payments, maxed credit cards. 3 months earlier, Michael had doubled his life insurance policy. The payout would have been $500,000. Investigators also uncovered messages between Sarah and a coworker. Friendly at first, then emotional, then suggestive of a future. A new start. Psychologists later described the pattern as tunnel thinking. When someone feels trapped, financially, emotionally, the brain narrows its options. It stops searching for alternatives. It starts justifying extremes. Step by step, the mind lowers its resistance. Resentment turns into rationalization. Rationalization turns into planning. Planning turns into action. During questioning, Sarah remained calm. Too calm, some said. Her memory was detailed, linear, organized. But genuine trauma often fractures memory, leaves gaps, creates confusion. Her story didn't shift emotionally, only strategically. When confronted with the search history, she said she was curious. When confronted with the garage data, she said she didn't remember. When confronted with the insurance increase, she said it was his idea. Each answer sounded reasonable in isolation. Together, they formed a pattern. At trial, there was no eyewitness, no confession, no surveillance video. Just a chain of evidence, financial motive, digital preparation, no forced entry, fiber analysis, timeline inconsistencies, and that 911 call. The jury listened to the recording 3 separate times. The third time, the courtroom was silent. Not because of what she said, but because of how she said it. The pauses, the distance, the absence of real panic. Why would you do this? Who was she talking to? There was no one else in the house, no response, no second voice. Prosecutors argued it was theatrical, a line added to create a narrative, a performance. The jury deliberated for 9 hours, guilty, second-degree murder. The 911 call lasted less than 3 minutes. She thought it would create an alibi. Instead, it exposed the truth. Because when people try to fake panic, they focus on the words. But they forget the details, breathing, timing, emotional resonance. And sometimes the smallest pause says the most. This case wasn't about rage. It wasn't about sudden violence. It was about slow justification. About convincing yourself there is no other way. And in the end, the very call meant to hide the crime. Changed everything.